Hey, what is up? It's VinitDesigns here with a brand new video. Today I'm excited to share some awesome updates in Adobe XD 2021. They just released these recently, just a few days ago, and I'm excited to share these features with you and show you some demos of what is possible when using these new tools. But I'm sure you're going to be able to create some awesome interactions, prototypes, and just work more effectively, efficiently. So let's get right into Adobe XD and try out some of these new features. The first feature is nested components. Before we had components on their own, but now we're able to group them and combine them and create more complicated designs. So let's show you how this works. I have a card design here, which is of an album design, and we want to be able to create a component out of this and reuse them throughout our design. So to do this, what I'll do is show you the layer, how it's structured, just so you have an idea of how this was created. When we open up the group, we can see that we have a background behind this card. We also have a cover art, which is just this rectangle. We also have the title of the song and also the album. And then we also have an icon, which is put in a group because we have a circle white background. And then on top of it, we also have a repeat icon. But first, we need to create a component of the main group of the entire card and then create a nested component within it. So select the main group, right click on the card, make component, or use the shortcut Control or Command K. And now we have a component of this whole card. Now let's create a nested component which is inside this main component. To do this, go to the layers panel and double click the first component. Select that group, right click and make component so that we have a nested component within the main component. And now let's see why this is beneficial when creating a nested component. Let's go to our components panel and drag out the second instance of this card so that we have two of these cards. Instead of having to go in and start changing the background color of each of these icons, but now that we have nested components, we're able to create smaller details within the parent group as well. So for example, we created this nested component of this repeat icon. We want to make a change to this, which will reflect on the second one as well. Let's try to change the color of the fill to something more colorful like a blue. And we can see that because we made changes to this primary nested component, it's being reflected on the second instance as well. And of course, we can make edits to the parent component like in the past. So you can see that I'm making adjustments to the height of this card and it's being reflected on the second one as well. The second feature is 3D transform. In the past, we were only able to control the Y and X axis. Now we're able to control the Z axis as well. And this will allow us to create some more depth and 3D like effects. We have three different album cards here. We want to group all three first. Select all three, hit Ctrl or Command G on your keyboard to group. Then go to the right side in the properties panel and click on this transform button, which is called 3D transform. And this is the new feature that will allow us to control the different properties. Let's zoom in and see this new gizmo. This gizmo gives us access to all three axes so we can control them visually on our artboard. Let's see how we can combine 3D transform with auto animate. On the first artboard, we have these three cards put inside a group. Let's duplicate this 2 more times. On the second one, we're going to double click and select the center card and then click and drag to create this cool layered effect. Let's go to the third artboard and double click to select the center card again. But this time we're going to keep it straight, but just bring it on top like this. Let's go into the prototype mode and start connecting the artboards. Double click inside this to select the first card and attach it to the second artboard. On the right side, we can create a tap interaction with an auto animate type. We can set the easing to ease in and out and set the duration to 0.5 seconds. Connect the second board with the third one, but this time we're going to do a timed interaction. Set it to auto animate with ease in and out and set the duration to 0.5 seconds. Finally, we will link this card to the first artboard like so and create a tap interaction. But this time we will set the duration to 1 full second. Let's go ahead and select the first artboard and click play. You can see how smooth and cool this transition is. The third feature is Adobe Libraries. We can access it by clicking this button in the toolbar. We can see the document assets like colors, character styles, components, but if we click on this arrow to go back to Libraries, we can access all of our assets and libraries that we have created in other programs from Adobe, and we can start implementing the different assets from Illustrator, for example, and drag it into XD as well. We can also browse the libraries and give other people access by giving them permissions. You can invite people, get the link and share it directly with them. You can rename, delete, and also enable or disable them so that they can disappear from your XD file like so. We can also turn this document into a library and start giving people access to it if we want to. We can also create new libraries if needed. The fourth feature is co-editing or collaboration. This will allow you to invite other people into this document so that you can collaborate and work on the same design at the same time. You can simply enter their email address and invite them into this document. This is perfect for team members where you're collaborating on the same project and need to work on the same design file at the same time. The fifth feature will allow developers to see component states directly in the design specs. You can see that when I select this nested component, there's a default state and also a hover state with different properties applied to it. The sixth feature is auto height. In the past, we were able to control the width, but now we're also able to control the height, and we can do this by basically setting a bounding box of text and then continue typing. And you can see that the text is going past on the same line, and that's because auto width is enabled. But if we set this to auto height and start typing, now you can see that the text is moved down to the second line. The text will go all the way to the end of the bounding box and then move down. And there you have it. I look forward to your feedback. Let me know what you thought of this, and I will see you next time. Peace out.